It's the voice of the one and only DJ Scream, letting you know that you are now in tune to the Casual Flex, where culture meets sports and casuals are welcome. Now here's your host, Phillip Dukes.
Yo, welcome to the Casual Flex. I'm your host, Phillip Dukes, aka Dukes D Scoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Dukes D Scoop. And make sure you go hit that like and subscribe button. Man, today, this show will be brought to you by One More Question brand. You see this right here. This is my boy Travis Barber, one of the biggest influencers on the South Side, doing something for the kids almost every day. Got a really good story about how he turned his life around, one of the greatest athletes from the College Park, South Side, Frmr area. So shout out to Trav, and also by the Atlantic brand. You see this I got on this South Side Made Me t-shirt. My boy Matt Herndon from the Atlantic brand, ATLANTIK for sure. But today, man, we got probably one of my favorite athletes coming for the Atlanta Falcons.
That's love.
A guy from the SEC, one of the fastest rising podcasters in the game right now, from the Raw Room, Mr. Jalen Collins. JC, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro? Appreciate you having me on.
Nah, for sure, man. I appreciate you coming, man. So before, like, it ain't, we already kind of ran through things. Like, let's talk about who you are as a person, like being born in Kansas City, raised in Mississippi. What was your upbringing like, and how did your upbringing impact you in your development?
Growing up, man, big family guy. Grew up with three brothers. Mom and dad was separated, so it was between Kansas City. I was in Kansas City till I was about 5, and I moved to Mississippi. But back and forth till I was probably about in high school. But I mean, man, being the third out of 4 boys, you know, just taking a lot of stuff from my older brother and my mom and stuff like that. You know, chill kid, man. Love to be outside, love to play, you know what I'm saying? Love to compete. I'm kind of like to myself, but I'm also like in the mix type, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so growing up, man, it was a cool, you know, experience for me. You know, being a little black kid in the South and shit, you know, it was cool, bro. Just running around and experiencing different things and stuff like that. But, you know, all in all, being the outside kid, loving sports and stuff like that, outside all day till the street lights come on. That's kind of, you know, what brought me, you know, set the foundation to, you know, where I'm at now.
So when you talk about being outside all night till the street lights came on, like, so now it's kind of different for a lot of the kids that's growing up now. Like, street lights, man, you better be in before. Like, first of all, they're not going outside. They on the iPad, Roblox.
Nah. Right.
Like, outside almost lame. Like, what are you talking about going outside? And
right,
like, even the athletes, they not really playing in the neighborhood. They going to trainers, and they, you know, Little League football is way different. Like, how do you feel like this next generation will be prepared for like the rigors of like college football and the NFL? Because the way like our generations was like, you just go get it out the mud outside, you can figure it out. Now there's so much pressure on them. Like, what are the differences, and how do you feel like the new generation will be prepared going forward?
The newer generation, I know that they will, in, I guess, in most areas that are important, you know, going into the sports world and, you know, trying to become a professional, they're going to be a lot further along than we were, you know, having the trainers, you know, just having access to so many different outlets and, you know, 7-on-7, the different camps, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's everything is out there for them. But I feel like that might also kind of hold some people back, you know what I'm saying? The ones that ain't really got it in them like that, you know what I'm saying? It might hinder them because it's, you know, it's so many different avenues and ways you can go. You know, they got the transfer portal, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much like now that's just kind of like in the way and can be a distraction. And I feel like for us, it was a little bit more, you know, like we didn't have all the knowledge and stuff like that. We just had the want to and the, you know, ability type stuff. So I feel like they'll be better off for the long run, but, you know, it's probably going to be a little bumpier before you get to that, that big hurdle, to step to the next level. It's probably be a little bumpier, and more unconventional routes for a lot of people.
It's crazy you say that because when you think about it, like, man, some of the kids that I see, and when I'm hearing them breaking down like 7, 8-year-olds, oh, they in cover too. Like, what?
Right.
Like, like, nah, bro. Like, we basically we had 23 blasts, 25, like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, right, for real.
For sure, like it wasn't a whole lot. So but to see the next generation like being as advanced as they are, the only thing that kind of worried me sometimes is like, man, dude, are they gonna have like the social skills? Like you got the COVID babies, like,
right.
And so when it comes to you get these kids that are like all world and they ranked in the country at 5 and 6 years old.
Right.
Then are they able to like assimilate themselves in a world where people put you in this fishbowl because of how good you are as a player? You feel me? So,
right.
But how did you get to that point? Like, so you go to Mississippi, you're in Mississippi. At what point did you know, like, man, I'm pretty damn good? Like, when did you know that you had a shot to play further than a lot of your friends?
Well, shit. Be honest, I ain't never had a doubt that I wasn't gonna play. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a little. I think about this shit all the time. We had a little meeting. It was probably before like the beginning, like the end of the spring before our 8th grade year.
Okay.
Or it might have been the spring after that. But our coach was telling us that 2% of y'all might go to college. Blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah, that speech.
Less than 1% of y'all might go to the NFL. Blah, blah. It's probably 60 kids out there. I'm the only nigga out there. I'm like, shit. He talking to y'all, bro.
Not me.
He ain't talking to me.
All right, so JC, you dominate high school, youth football, all of that. What was, and of course, all the colleges coming at you. What made you choose LSU?
Well, so hold on. Despite what you think, it wasn't really a whole lot. Because the area that I went to school in was so small, it was kind of just like up and coming. My the school that I graduated from, it'd been around for a while, but the school that I was going to up until my 11th grade year of school, it was a brand new school. My older brother, he about 5 years older than me, he graduated in first class in 2006.
Oh wow.
So wasn't no recruiting, no none of that.
Okay.
So I had to like that summer before I transferred schools, my senior year, I ended up just going to the LSU camp. And the coach liked me from the camp and was like, come on back to the second camp where all the commits gonna be at. And that's kind of how that went. Damn. After that second camp, I got an offer, and that was after that it was kind of history. LSU offered me, I was like, all right, I'm committed.
It's over.
It's the only one I got. I'm committed.
So you go to LSU, you get there. So much talent on them teams. Like you go down the names just off the top of my head. I know y'all had Jamal Adams, Jalen Mills, Dion.
Right. And so and all them cats didn't come to after my first year.
Oh wow.
Right. They was all younger than me. So you ain't even get all the Brandon Taylor and you know what I'm saying, Benny Logan,
Logan.
It's so many guys. Kevin Minter played, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's so many. I could go from any position, really.
Minter from the A, ain't he?
Say again?
Where Kevin Minter from? Yeah, he went to Stevenson, I think.
Yeah, he from Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We had talent on top of talent on top of talent. That's why I was saying it's a little different. Like college football, having the little transfer portals. When I was in school, you had to sit behind somebody for 2 years if you was, you know what I'm saying, at a good school. That's how Alabama do. You got to sit behind somebody.
Right. And I just had a linebacker from my boy Smile Money from Georgia on. He was like, bro, like our practices, like they telling me like do good, take your practice serious because we got so much talent. It's gonna get you ready.
Oh yeah.
And with so much talent at LSU, what was a moment in practice where you was just like, hey, bro, this different out here. Like, hey, I got, hey, these folks ain't playing. I got to come with it. Like, what moment woke you up and made you be like, hey, bro, like I got a chance to go because LSU like that?
Right. I mean, it was honestly early. You know what I'm saying? Just like before I even got there, seeing what was going on and during the game. practice and, going against going against the older guys and even the guys in my class, because in Mississippi, we ain't have all them athletes like that. Like we had, athletes here and there, but it wasn't every time you step in front of somebody, you know what I'm saying? You got potential to get cooked out there. So, it was definitely, early on, but I would say, just like going against, I would probably say one of the receivers that I, try to focus going against a lot when I first got there was Ruben Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a big body receiver, you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't slow, you know what I'm saying? He looked like a big body possession type receiver, but that was fast as hell, and he runs smooth. So you never knew,
right?
And so just like being on the during camp, the ones go against the younger guys, and then like during the season, going against them and stuff like that. No, it definitely had me like, damn, all right, I can't f around, because even if I feel like I'm on this man, I feel like I played great defense, I could have played better defense. So it was definitely a quick adjustment, that you gotta level up.
So you go through LSU. I think what was it like? Did you know that Odell Beckham was gonna be like that? Like was it a surprise when he went off like in the league that first year? Were you surprised at all? He was like, yeah, I knew he was gonna do that.
No. Once he got to the league, we already knew, but we already knew that Odell was gonna be a problem like towards the end of our first year. Like going into, and it's crazy, like going into us like committing and signing and all that stuff, like during recruitment, Jarvis was a bigger recruit than Odell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he had more, of the stars, all that stuff that people were looking and stuff like that. But Odell was just, I guess it was got a little sleepy on him because he went to the little Catholic school, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
Playing against the competition out there, not saying that they sorry or nothing like that, but now when we first got the, camp and then going throughout the season and just like seeing that man progress and seeing how hard him and Jarvis work. I want to say the Kentucky game, I think he scored. That might have been his first touchdown. I'm not sure, but he caught a little pass and he, broke 3 dudes and went all the way across the field to, I want to say, like that game. I was like, okay, yeah. He didn't finally got his little chance to pop off and show a little something. Oh right. Yeah, that boy gonna be a problem.
Nah, for sure. So you get your shot. Like nobody was like, you're not one of the names. There was a lot of names coming out in that draft your year, right? Right. And nobody was really expecting it. But like even from my time dealing with scouts, see what people think on the outside when they watch the games. See, scouts watch the games and the NFL teams are watching the games in a totally different way. Right.
Completely
they looking
different.
at size, they looking at speed, they looking at recovery skills, they looking at how do you project to the NFL.
Right.
What did you run at the combine?
I ran a 4.4.
At 6'2", you run this 4.4, and I know you was like, after you ran that 4.4, was you already like, bro, I just did it, bro. Like how did that feel knowing how you ran?
I mean, the running was good. The running was cool. I honestly felt like, and I still feel like this. I still feel like the clock at the combine is they slowing them times because we like all the athletes that we didn't see. We know what a 4.3 looked like. Right. You know what I'm saying? We know what it looked like. You ain't got to tell me he ran it like. We know what it looked like. And now it's seeing guys getting faster. Even when I was like guys getting faster and faster, the time's not getting faster. That's not correlating. Like
right.
You know what I'm saying?
There was so many 4.3s at this year combine. It was like 4.3.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? To see how far we've come. But I feel like you know what I'm saying.
You feel like you're a 4.3 guy, really? Like
no, absolutely.
Right.
So, coming out, you know what I'm saying? People doing the hand times. I know some people out there had 4.3s on the hand times and stuff like that, and then they got my official with a 4.48. But I wasn't even really tripping off the time or nothing like that. I just wanted to go out there and move good and show the people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a whole package at corner. You know what I'm saying?
So when it came down time, like I think you had only started like 10 or 11 games or something like that at LSU, right? And so,
Yeah.
but then right before the draft, this buzz comes out like, man, Jalen Collins is a first round pick. Like, so, and then it was like, okay, then after all of a sudden, it's character concern, drug test. And nobody had been like, you was like, and I follow it so closely, I started seeing your name. I'm like, Jalen Collins, and I'm going back and looking like, oh yeah, top 15, top 20. Like, you know, just looking at what you did. The versatility, right? You know what I'm saying? All, you know, willing to get your nose dirty, a big corner. You know, at the time, the whole rage was the bigger corner at the time, right? So it still is, really. But then this stuff comes out about these character concerns and drug tests, and I'm like, bro, like, what's going on? Like, how did that impact you? Like, did you feel a kind of way at that time? Like, and what do you think contributed to that? Do you think like somebody just was like, was it some hating type stuff, or like what? What was going on with that whole situation?
Right. Well, so the whole situation kind of for me and how it was kind of like presented to like the public and stuff like that, it was kind of like out of nowhere for me, because the entire process, you know how teams is checking on guys, asking their mama, their grandma, their high school teacher, the college coaches, somebody around, like they're asking all the questions, they doing their research, all this, and then I ain't even factored in you going on the visits to the teams, the combine, like, so you doing all these interviews. I didn't talk to damn near every head coach, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't talk to every team, so they know the situation. And then when the news come out, it's like, okay, so but for what though?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this is not new information. It's not like it's a secret that I failed some drug tests in college. Like, the teams already knew, and like, I ain't failed no drug tests, you know what I'm saying, through the combine, all that, whatever. And so, like, for me, it was like, because it did come out probably like the last like week or two before the draft. So for me, like, looking at the situation in the entirety, I'm like, damn, that's gotta be some hating shit, because like, why wouldn't this come out sooner? You know what I'm saying?
Just like we just saw, right? Usually the time for that type stuff to come out is at the combine. When it ain't, because that's when teams is talking to each other. What did you hear about him? Oh, I heard this. Oh, okay, cool. Usually that's the time. Exactly. And so then when the agents or like the schools, or when somebody started throwing salt, that comes out later in the process, because that makes people scramble their boards. And I almost be feeling like sometimes it's almost like, I hate to just throw around the word collusion like that, where it's like, nah, we ain't gonna pay. Ain't nobody gonna pay that much for him, because, you know, I ain't gonna take him. All right, well, all right. Y'all all agree we not gonna? Okay, cool. We'll let him get the second round, because like, it ain't it's no secret that you had the first round grade.
Yeah.
What did the Falcons tell you, like, leading up to the draft about drafting you? And was there a conversation going into the draft, like, hey, look, we know you got this stuff going on, we need you to clean that up? Like, how was that, like, when the Falcons went ahead and decided, like, they was gonna pick you, and how was the conversations leading up to that?
I guess, like, leading up to it, it wasn't really a whole lot, you know, just because how the business is, they don't really like to give out too much, you know what I'm saying? They don't really like to show their hand like that. But of course there was some interest. I took a visit there, and some other teams as well, but I knew that they were, you know, looking for a corner, and definitely interested. And then so, you know, come draft day, I didn't even really have much conversation with them besides the visit that I went to. But, you know, draft day, they call you probably, you know, 4 or 5 picks before you get picked. And Coach Quinn called me. I talked to, you know, Arthur Blank, and then I talked to Coach Quinn. And then so, you know, basically his little message was, man, you know, it's a new job for me, you know what I'm saying? My first time head coach, and I like you as a player, as a person, and all this, you know what I'm saying? And then that stuff came out, and he was like, you know, just I guess take care of business, and you know, don't be a problem type. And then so that was that moving forward.
So you go out. Now so we'll talk about the Super Bowl year, like, but that was the draft class that kind of laid the foundation. So first round, I think it was Vic Beasley.
Yeah.
Played a major role. Second round, you.
Yeah.
Third round, was it? Dang, who went third? I know Justin Hardy went like.
I want to say I think we took Tevin.
Tevin Coleman. Yep, Tevin Coleman went third round. Fourth rounder, Justin Hardy, maybe.
Yeah, it was. I think the top 5 or 6 people. It was me, Vic, Tevin, Grady, and Justin.
Yep, Grady went 5th. So that's a hell of a draft class. Like, to hit 5 for 5, that hardly ever happens. Like,
right.
When y'all was there a time in camp where everybody just kind of looked around where it was like, hey, bro, all of them 5, like, golly, like, and did y'all talk about it like to each other, like, oh, bro, we all finna make it, like?
No, I mean, of course, like, coming in the draft class, because we come in a little earlier, the rookie mini camps and stuff like that. I mean, it's of course we all had that idea in the back of our head, but it's a little tough to keep that same. You know what I'm saying? Just like, right. I know I'm finna be the shit, like, because you got to go out there and adjust and, get with the team and see all the others. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a little adjustment period, but we definitely all had that, you know what I'm saying? That mindset that we want to be, that guy.
So y'all all get to Atlanta. You coming from LSU by way of Mississippi, by way of Kansas City. You get to the A, brand new money.
Yeah.
Like, Atlanta is a different kind of city for a professional sports town because, bro, like, Atlanta really is slick like Wakanda, like, like, it's a lot going on. Like, it's always rumors of people saying that people don't want to come to Atlanta because of the nightlife, and folks want to come to Atlanta because, but I don't think it's as serious as people make it.
Right.
What was the adjustment like for you moving to Atlanta? And for somebody that was, let's say somebody's a draft pick getting ready to come to Atlanta, what advice would you give them to kind of acclimate to the city?
Well, the number one thing is probably like your time management. Going into cities, like you said, it's a lot going on. It's a lot of damn people. The amount of people was probably like the biggest thing for me, just because, where I am, where I'm at in Mississippi, it's not, crazy big. And then LSU, Baton Rouge, not a huge city like that either. So just adjusting to like the amount of people and knowing when you gotta leave to get here on time. And like, you gotta almost, like, if you need 45, if you got 45 minutes to get there, you almost need to leave like an hour and a half early type shit, because at any time I've been in traffic at 8 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 12, like any time of day you want to call it, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7, like, bruh, it's gonna be traffic, and it'll be at a different part of the city, bruh. It's crazy. So that's definitely one of the biggest things. Find your little areas that you're gonna go to, and don't try to be out doing too much, because you'll definitely get lost in that. For real,
man. Like, so all right. So it's a lot of pressure on the Falcons in Atlanta.
Oh man, what?
So all right. So the Braves went to the World Series almost every year in the 90s. They even won one.
Right.
The Braves won a World Series the year before last. Don't nobody talk about it no more.
Right.
They talk more about the Falcons Super Bowl that we didn't get than the actual Braves winning one. The Hawks, man, we happy when the Hawks go to the playoffs, man. Look, Trae Young went to the second round the other year. Everybody was like, yeah,
indeed,
second round. Like, I because like we ain't even care, bro. What was it like coming back to the city after the Super Bowl? I went to work the next day, man. Didn't nobody talk. Like, everybody was upset, bro.
Nah, it was for that first like month or so. I didn't really do shit. I want to say, like, I was back home for maybe like 4-5 days, and then I was gone, bro. I went on a little trip. Me and my girl, bro, I had to get out of there.
Yeah, it was sad, bro.
They take sports so serious, and I love it because the fandom is real. You know what I'm saying? It's a big family, but like, when we losing and bad, it get bad out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just ruthless. Ruthless.
Hey, look, I remember one time, bro. Man, folks were calling into the radio show. It was like, hey, man, I just seen Roddy White at Busy Bee. He just dropped his plate. I was like, hey man, y'all folks is tripping, bro.
That's
Like,
wild as hell, dog.
hey man, like, and it's a different kind of sports fandom because it's like ain't no celebrities in Atlanta. Like everybody think they famous. Like it don't matter, bro. So somebody will walk up to you and say something crazy, like you be like, bro, like that's such so tell him he need to learn how to tackle. Like they'll say some
Right.
that's what be going
Don't give
on.
a
Like,
damn.
how did you separate that in Atlanta from knowing that, you know what, they just fans? And was it ever times where you just was like, because people but one thing about the city, folks recognize real. So they know if you're a real one, like they're gonna show you love regardless. It's gonna be more of a conversation. Like, how did you kind of get into your groove in the city? Because there was a lot of pressure, you know, then too, it's like you was balling, like you went like quick.
Yeah. Right.
So like what was your experience like in Atlanta with the fans?
For the most part, I feel like it was good. I mean, we like all the stuff that happened after the Super Bowl, like we already know how that goes. Everybody got that. So that's something different in itself. But for the most part, it's really all being all love. You know, you got your few bad apples here and there type stuff. But I mean, it's always been all love. You know, anywhere I go, see a Falcons fan type. When I was in the city, I mean, it was really, oh, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Like, what? I ain't never really have no crazy experiences like that. You know, people get crazy on the internet and stuff like that, but
that's the easiest thing in the world. Yeah.
Right. I don't really, I guess, feed into too much of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really let it get to me just because I know who I am and I know what I'm doing. And like, I ain't worried about all of that shit. So, yeah.
Man, so the first thing a lot of folks used to be like, I was like, man, it might be God not giving the Falcons a Super Bowl because we don't know how to act, bro. Like Atlanta don't know how to act, bro. Like the first thing they did was like, you know what? Strip clubs open on Sunday, like, bro. Like it was, it was like, bro. The whole city was set up. Like the parties was getting planned. Everybody was like, hey, you getting your section? Like at halftime, everybody was like crazy. So and then everything shifted. Okay, cool. Was Tom Brady talking trash?
Honestly, I wasn't that close.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? I wasn't never that close to the huddle and the line like that so I could hear him. But I'm sure he said something. If you play sports, you don't talk. I mean, you probably locked in like that. Not everybody talks, but like, I'm sure he said something.
Now you know what? I just thought about it too because I do remember like because I think that was the year you was coming off suspension, I think, or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The year before you went super crazy, and it was like, you know. But man, after that, so what happened? I don't know if you know this. Was the call made to go for it? Like when they were saying to not kick the field goal? Was that a Shanahan call or a Dan Quinn call?
Okay, so that's one of the things I have no idea. Just because like during the games, offense and defense be so separated. You know what I'm saying? Like I know for a fact, not even maybe the defensive coaches knew kind of what was going on, maybe the headset type thing. But honestly, I don't think the defense, like none of the defensive staff knew what was going on the other side of the ball because you know what I'm saying, we just so locked in. But I mean, shit, I couldn't even tell you.
Was y'all mad? Was y'all mad? Like did y'all was the team mad when the field goal didn't get kicked?
Well, so on defense, we was like, okay, boom. We got Matt can hit that shit, you know what I'm saying? We think, okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, we like, if they don't kick it, whatever, we riding type shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't never like a, damn, we don't believe in them or damn, they should have type. It wasn't ever anything like that. We was just like, all right, what we got to do next? All right, let's get it. Right. But I mean, I was thinking that, you know, we'll kick the field goal. So some of the calls, you know what I'm saying, on that drive right there was, if I was a coach, I'm like, damn, I'm trying to get this field goal, boy. I need to put this frame. I need to put it away. Right. But yeah.
Well, do you think that so as far as that team that year, because Shanahan was already up out of there, like it wasn't even though like he was.
Yeah.
Do you think like the offense kind of dictated like as far as like how things went that year? Was it like more so of like a Dan Quinn as a CEO type deal, and the offense was, and Shanahan was kind of like the day-to-day type guy, or was it more so like Dan Quinn had his hands in everything?
No, I feel like he kind of did, you know, as a head coach, you gotta know everything that's going on type shit. But I wouldn't say he really had hands on the offense like that. I mean, of course he probably knew and probably could override some here and there, but I feel like, you know, it was more like what you said. You know, he kind of let Shan have the reins and you know, let him do what he wanted within reason type.
Nah, I feel you on that. So, we Super Bowl over with. I gotta ask you about this, bro.
Yeah.
This one I said, okay, Jalen Collins is really an honorary Atlanta. Like, so
Yeah.
After the Super Bowl part, everybody goes to Houston, bro. Like the whole city of Houston almost. It's a party. 2 Chainz is performing.
Oh yeah.
Bro, it's another dude with dreads on stage after the game, bro. It's you, bro.
Yeah, bro.
What made you go up there, bro?
I'm dead. So I'm like a big music head. I'll be, you know, up on all the new music. I listen to different things and stuff like that. So that year Coloring Book came out, and that was one of the albums that I listened to a good bit, you know what I'm saying, with Chance at the time. And you know, I definitely with 2 Chainz. Like, so that was one of the songs that I heard, you know, multiple times throughout the year. Got me, you know what I'm saying, turned up to that a little bit. And so we was just out there, bro. The party after the game, was out there drunk, you know, with my family. We was all turning up, just trying to enjoy ourselves and shit. I was like, bro, this our party, bro. We at the Super Bowl, like we played the Super Bowl today, bro. Like, of course we ain't win that, but I'm like, fuck, bro, I'm finna have a good time.
What else you gonna do?
Right, bro. He started playing that song. We was probably like 4, 5 Patron shots in. Me and the whole, I'm talking about from grandma to damn little cousin. Everybody was in there drunk. So I was like, man, I'm finna go up there, bro.
Right.
There wasn't no security at the stage. I was like, I walked up there. James was like, all right, and then he kept forming. I was like, all right, yeah, we good.
Right. Nah, for sure. South side, man. Shout out to Tip, man.
Yeah.
So after that season, like I think it was another suspension and another one or something like that. And then, all right, from that point, it was like, okay, cool. Like, is Jalen Collins ever gonna make it back? Then the Indianapolis calls you. Like, now you got to think, like, this ain't like no random Rudy Poo guy. This is somebody who came in as a rookie, balling, showing like, you know, going up against the best at handling his business and like, you know, in cover 3 and some man situations. So showing that you could play both. You feel me? So
right.
Indianapolis gives you that phone call. What was that like, knowing that somebody was still watching you after everything you had been through?
I mean, it was a comforting feeling, just, you know, everything that I was going through. I mean, just to know I still had somebody in my corner and I still had, you know, opportunity. But it was good because like throughout the process of me being suspended, I had talked to the team before then, and you know, they was like, oh, we'll check in, you know, once this is up, and then talking to them after everything was finished, and once they finally flew me out there, had a little workout, and then after that, it was like, yeah, we're gonna sign you, bro, and it was just a big weight lifted off my shoulders, knowing you know, I had been through a lot, been out of football for a while, and, you know, still had the opportunity to go out there and try to, you know, earn a job, earn a spot. It definitely meant a lot to me.
Do you still keep when the Falcons finally did, like, so before you go to the coach, the Falcons said, all right, we're going to let you go. Like,
right.
Was that Dan Quinn that called you? Was it the GM that called you? Like, did anybody like have a talk with you that you had built a relationship with, or was it more so like all right, man, that's it, bye?
It was really more so like all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was, I want to say that week they played on Monday. And so the next day, Tuesday, like I'm driving up to the facility because it's the first day that I can go back up there. I know
that was the end of suspension.
I know it, but I know it was an off day, but I'm like, man, that I've been at the house for months. Like, So I'm pulling up to the facility and I park the car. I'm finna get out. I assume like I open my door and my phone ring. I said, okay, it's Coach Quinn. He was like, hey Jalen, can you come up here? I was like, I'm about to walk in the building right now.
Right.
And he was like, oh, okay, I'll see you when you get up here. And I was like, so
oh man.
I didn't know what's going on. I get up there and it's him and TD Dimitrov.
Right.
And basically we just sat down. It was probably like a quick little 5-10 minute little conversation. And it was like, yo, we, blah, blah, this and that, and we're gonna let you go. It wasn't even like what's going on, what this, that. It was just like, all right. So I was like, damn.
Right.
Like that, like my ain't even try to figure out what the situation was. They were just like, all right, bro, we ain't got time.
With how the rules done changed and some of this like so if with the new rules and like, how everything done changed.
Yeah.
Bro, you probably if you had 4 suspensions, you probably would only have 1 at the most.
With how the rules are set up now, I would have had the 1 suspension. I would have had the one suspension.
Right.
At the end of my rookie season, going into that next year. That's the only suspension I would have had.
So as far as knowing is like, bro, like, yeah, I really just got caught in a time that we knew needed to be changed.
Facts.
How does that impact? Like, how do you cope with that, bro? Like, and if it goes deep, I'm cool. But I know it's times where life be like unfair, and I'm like, bro, like, if this would have been a year later, my whole life would probably be different.
Mm-hmm.
How do you cope with knowing stuff like that, or knowing or with that situation?
I mean, honestly, bro, just like trying not to get caught up in it. And really the biggest thing is just being grateful for the opportunities that I've been blessed with.
Amen, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't really the type to, like do holding grudges or holding on to bad feelings and anything that's like negative, bad mood type shit. Like I'm not that type of person. I like to chill. I like to be easy. You know what I'm saying? I like to be in a good mood, laugh, have a good time. And so, of course, those feelings come, but like I know how to control it and keep myself kind of even to where I can handle situations that are tougher, or you know what I'm saying, whatever it may be. So for me, it's tough to see, but honestly, I'm happy because it's not gonna be any more Jalen Collins. You know what I'm saying? Guys getting in trouble and they got to put out this narrative because he likes to do this and that. Like 90% of the league likes to do that. Right. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All sports league, people like to do that. And, it becoming more legal and I guess more acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy that guys can be themselves and still, further their careers.
It's almost like you were like a martyr for the cause, almost like.
Bro, I honestly, and I'm like, I think about it a lot, of course, because I had to deal with it. But I'm like, man, honestly, I don't even really give a damn as long as the next guy don't have it as hard as I did, and I could impart some knowledge on somebody or affect somebody's path in a positive way, bro. I ain't even tripping.
All right. With that being said, let's say I'm John Morant right now.
Yeah.
What would you say to me after everything that he like? First of all, man, I gotta talk about this, bro. How lame is it for this strip club to put out these images of this boy, man? Like,
no, that's right. That's it's crazy. Like what's being done. Of course, I'm not saying what he did was right.
Right.
But to the extent that people are going and saying and trying to like tarnish his character and stuff like that, like everybody make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? Like people have guns and this and that, and people have done dumb shit before. So it's like, it's not right at all. He don't need to be doing that. He don't need to be portraying himself in that light because he is one of, our top athletes.
Right.
In the sports world. He is one of our top athletes. So it's like he has a bigger platform than, he's, he's showing like But honestly, like you as an athlete, like you gotta do stuff a certain way and this and that. And the only thing he did wrong, in my eyes, was show the gun. If he didn't do this right here,
all this go away.
Nobody's talking about anything because my nigga is in a strip club. He spent money, and you know what I'm saying. He just do that. Everybody do that. So
bro, look, the whole Atlanta United went to Magic City with the trophy.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like we'll go to goddamn Cheetah to pregame for a birthday party at the club. Like, you know what I'm saying? We out there. So it just sucks. It just sucks that they going to this extent because the only thing he did was show the gun. And it's not and a lot of places it's not necessarily legal to have a gun, but you know, it's not smart to be showing your guns. Right. And then I guess getting a little deeper into it, you know what I'm saying, where they was at and how he had the gun and all that stuff. That's, you know, another conversation. But like the biggest thing is just like, man, you gotta know like when and where type. You know what I'm saying? You know everybody watching. Right. Like everybody. So it's tough, but I feel like the lengths that they're going to is too much right now.
Man, like when I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of like, man, of course, you know what I'm saying, he's young and you know what I'm saying, and everybody makes mistakes, but I almost feel like sometimes like the announcers and like the people in position, they get in contact with them, they're not saying nothing that's gonna help them because like this is the scary thing to me. Don't put this man in a position to where he's got to prove it. Right. Like then we're gonna see a star falling, like, you know, in front of the whole world, like the revolution to be televised, that whole nine. Like, so who is putting their arm around him and saying, hey, bro, like I like what Jalen Rose said to him, like, hey, you know, like I'm a John Morant. Like you got guys like yourself who's saying like, hey man, just understand where you are. Like I get it, I understand, but just understand you got these eyes on you. Right. What's your opinion of some of these older sports heads or whatever? Not even older, just some of these guys is just like teeing off on the kid. Like, what would you say to them, to the guys who just teeing off of him instead of putting their arm around them? Right. I mean, I feel like there's a time and place for everything. You know, say he would have been out with the gun shooting that bitch off. Right. Now tee off on him because he really lost his mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, now is not that time. He did something stupid. A lot of people don't like it, but at the same time, he didn't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? He didn't like disrespect nobody type. Like he ain't openly beefing with somebody, creating. You know what I'm saying? He not doing all this stuff. He just out partying, having a little too much fun. Might drink a little too much. Like, okay, bro, we can get that in check. Like. It's just a little conversation that need to be had. It don't need to be tearing this man down and throwing him under the bus because we really all we got. As far, you know what I'm saying? Like we all get to this level and we all be like, oh, we did this, you know what I'm saying? I did this and it, bro. We really all we got. Right. But don't nobody care about us except for us. So so like how do you feel like the music impacts athletes, like the op culture, like all this, like, oh, I got ops, I got this. And I'm like, bro, look, like, do you feel like music has a part to play in it, or do you feel like it's just guys who just need to kind of tone themselves down? Right. I mean, I wouldn't put nothing on music because at the end of the day, music is just, you know, storytellers telling a story. You know what I'm saying? They could be talking about themselves or whatever, but like, as far as you getting influenced and being influenced by said things, like that's all up to you. You know what I'm saying? You have to have self-control enough to be like, okay, this is just music. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's fun to, you know, be out in a certain light and have some fun and portray yourself and this and that. But nah, these guys just got to be a little smarter with what they're doing. And media big right now. You got to be smart what you're putting out there. Nah, man. Like, now I'm glad you said it in that way because I you know, and I had to present the question fairly, but at the same time, it was like, man, look, you got, like, a lot of folks be on job like, oh, he got two parents, he got this. I'm like, bro, like, you don't know what this man got going on. Right. Like, I know so many folks on Chain Gang right now with two parents. Like, you know, that's both of them doctors, lawyers, like, don't matter. If it's in your head and it's in your heart, that's what you're going to do.
Right.
So, I appreciate you kind of being real about it, because it's so easy for folks just to be like, oh man, he ain't real. But you don't know what this man done been through. Like, nobody does. Like, and your school don't determine who you are as a person. Like, you know how many folks that done been to the Woodward Academies of the world. I know some of the biggest game bangers in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, that done been to folks. Yeah, come on, bro. Like, done been places. So you can't really put that label on folks. Man, JC, the Raw Room. Where can people find you, dog?
You can find me on Instagram. It's jcar_32. Twitter is jcar_11. And then the Raw Room, __ room. That's on Twitter, Instagram, we on TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
You got on some of that merch?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know how we rocking.
Yeah,
the little script titty. You know how we rocking.
Some of the hardest merch you're gonna see for any podcast out there. Like,
yeah,
sir.
Like I'm whipping up some new designs. So y'all be tuned in for that in the next coming months, man. We putting out some new stuff. We gotta restock.
Nah, for sure, man. Hey, P Dukes for the Casual Flex, Dukes to Scoop. All right, we out. Appreciate it.